back into Studio 10 where we have a fun new segment we are launching today. It's called Class with Colton!
And this is where Professor Cichoracki here will be sharing some weather-related experiments that are not only fun, but will help us understand the weather and our forecasts a whole lot better. So, Professor Cichoracki, what will you be teaching us today?
Well, so we were just thinking of some cool science things that we can do for kids at home. If you want to do these with your kids, this upcoming summer when they're at home, to maybe explain some of the processes that involve weather, right? So one of the biggest things that we talk about in weather is the water cycles. You have evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. So we wanted to kind of model that in somewhat of a way here and make our own rain. So one of the things that you'll need, so these are the ingredients that you'll need. You'll need a plastic cup that you can poke holes into. You'll need cotton balls, a jar, and some sort of food coloring. So we use blue, obviously, for rain, water, just to make it kind of show up a little bit more. So all of this stuff is pretty easy, and most of the stuff you already have at home probably. So the cotton balls will represent the clouds, and then the water will represent the rain, right? So what you do first is you take a plastic cup and you have a little push pin that you can poke holes into. It's actually pretty loud when you take it out.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's probably just the cup. So it's a little bit loud. And you'll probably do, when I practice this, you'll probably do 5 or 6 holes in the bottom. And so that's what the water is going to drip down from. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your plastic cup into the larger jar like that. It's pretty simple, right? So are we following along here?
I think so.
Far?
I think so. Are you taking notes? Don't cheat off me.
No. There will be a test after this. And then you take some cotton balls. You don't need that many, but maybe 5 or 6, and push them all the way onto the bottom so that they sit on the bottom, and that's going to be the cloud. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is how does a cloud form in the first place, and what is a cloud, right? So you have water on the surface of the earth. Obviously, it evaporates up into the sky, so now you have water vapor in the sky, and it rises, right? It continues to rise all the way up until it starts to cool and condenses, and it condenses on anything that's in the air. So it could literally be like a piece of dust. Right? And it condenses on that piece of dust, and then it builds more and more water builds on top of it until you get a cloud. But what happens is you get too much moisture in the cloud that it all begins to fall out of the cloud. Right? So that's what creates rain. So that's what we're going to recreate. So using the water that you created, well, you didn't create the water, but you know that you got. Yes. And all you're going to do is you're going to pour the water into the cup with the cotton balls, and as the cotton balls get too much water in them, it'll eventually start to create some rain. And you can see as it drips down below, as there's going to be water that's going to come down, and that is kind of recreating the rain. See, I might have used too many cotton balls in this example, but you can see that it's raining. And it's the same type of thing that happens in our sky. When the clouds get too much moisture, it becomes too heavy, and then the water begins to drip down, and that's what we call rain. Right. And obviously, if the temperature in the atmosphere is then below freezing, same process, but then it freezes, the water freezes as it falls, and that's how you get snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a really fun thing. I kind of should have made.
There we go.
There's
so you told me last night there was way too much moisture in the clouds.
Yes, and that's what causes. And even like the dark color of clouds, if it's a dark gray, that's because all of the moisture that's in the cloud is sitting on the bottom of it. So that's why it turns gray. So we're actually just looking at water. And so this is kind of just a very simple thing that you can show and create your own rain. And it really does show up really cool with the blue color, as you can see. If you do put the blue food coloring in to make it rain. And it's just a really simple experiment that you can do. Kids will find this very interesting. And honestly, it takes a couple minutes to do this. And so it's a really simple thing, and just wanted to show you cool ways to learn using tools that you have at home.
That's right, and now we can appreciate the rain, especially that we've seen all week, so we can be like, hey, I kind of know how that works.
All week.
Thank you, Colton.
Well, thank you, Professor Cichoracki.
No problem.
Yes, did we
Pleasure being in your class.
Yes.
Did we get an A+?
A+ for everyone.
All right, well, thank you. Well, don't go anywhere just yet.